Yo, team playing as Paraguay, which starts out in a pretty interesting position, being one of the smallest countries to have flavor. For example, they have this journal entry here, which gives negative 10% enactment success chance, plus 200% intelligentsia political strength, bringing our intelligentsia. Wait, they only have 10% clout? I'm sure that hasn't updated yet, because it's gotta be more than that, unless we just have no intelligentsia buildings in our whole country. But most importantly, once our initial ruler dies, we're going to get off of isolationism. Also, we're going to get off from secret police to national militia. But most importantly, it will give us the journal entry called the Heart of America, which is going to have a bunch of completion conditions for us. And that has some insanely strong bonuses. For example, a negative 50% mortality in the capital for 20 years, or a plus 20% offense defense on your entire military for 20 years. Also, today we're only conquering within the Americas. So we're going to research pan-nationalism, and that's going to be good because we want to form the Federation of the Andes, which we need to form Rio de la Plata first, which requires nationalism. But then to form the Federation of the Andes, we will need pan-nationalism to become a unification candidate. Now, we're also going to be declaring on Brazil for conquest of Parana. We actually can use the diplomatic demand of liberate country. Maybe we should use this, actually. I had not considered using this. This is probably going to be a smarter. Okay, I'm going to declare on Brazil for Liberate Country Confederation of the Equator. That's going to be good. Now we're going to mobilize our 5 stack and put it on the front. We are not going to create conscripts yet, although we are going to put down a bunch of decrees, social mobility, whatever. The reason we're not putting down conscripts is it's going to make Brazil slightly less confident, which may be the difference between them calling in someone which we do not want. Speaking of which, we're going to add in some more goals here. Conquer Minas Gerais, which is very good state, conquer Sao Paulo, and conquer Parana. Well, we're conquering Parana just to get into the other states, mostly. But the nice thing about Minas Gerais, which is the main state we want, is it has 2 gold mines, which is pretty nice. It also has a pretty big GDP and population. So I'm just going to build a couple of logging camps in our state, and we're going to just unpause now, and hopefully the Brazilians will be confident enough to not call anyone against us in this war. Now I get the Age of Caudillos here, which gives us this Eye of the Supreme stuff, which means if our ruler dies, we will get an event which will give us the a meeting in Asunción, which will let us choose between getting the despotic utopians stay in our country or getting the modernization stuff. We're going to choose the modernization, of course. Now we get this follow Salivary thing here. This will give us plus 10 maneuvers and 25 conscriptal battalions. We're going to use the conscriptal battalions once we do start conscripting, but we're not going to do that quite yet because these guys are very willing to join the war. It's just that Brazil is very confident and thus doesn't want to call them in. Okay, now that the war is beyond the point where you can call people in, we are going to do that. Then we're going to use an enlistment efforts and get these other conscripts and raise. Because, yeah, we got to defeat the Brazilians. We should have a big enough advantage to push here because the Brazilians are very diverted in their wars against the Rio Grande Republic and Grau-Para. Although it looks like they're winning their war in the Rio Grande Republic a lot faster than we would like. We need to start pushing faster, please. No, the Rio Grande Republic is already almost dead. Okay, I'm going to split formation here and try to stop the Rio Grande Republic from dying. Because if they die, that's going to be really bad for us. Please let me... No! Dang, the Rio Grande Republic is dead. That is terrible news. We definitely do not want the Rio Grande Republic to die. But we will just try to win anyway. It's going to be a little bit tricky, but with this much pushers, hopefully we can just spaghetti the front enough to come out on top, regardless of any Rio Grande Republic failings. Is there no wait? Do they actually only have these 5 troops here, and then the rest are just on Grau-Para? Maybe we're fine. Okay, we just need to push quite quickly here, and then we should be good. Okay, we're gonna bring this army down south to try to defend as best as we can against this army, because if this can get into our capital or anything, that would be devastating. While we continue pushing with a 7 stack in the north, and this should be good. Yeah, oh, this army actually has no generals, so we're kind of fine. Wait, what? What are they doing? Did they just white piece Grau-Para? No, they didn't. We just deleted their front with them. Okay, it looks like we're just kind of winning this. Except we're now losing in the south, but they're capping really fast. So we shall see. Yeah, they don't want peace, but I think that they're going to be forced into peace before they can reconquer their capital. Yeah, definitely looks like that's happening, because, yep, there we go. We win the war. Okay, a little bit closer than it needed to be. Sometimes you can just have the Rio Grande Republic. In fact, I think that's what happens most of the time. They'll survive till your war starts, and then you have to a much better start. But in this case, we still get our 3 states from Brazil, and that's pretty good. Now, we're running a huge negative bureaucracy to incorporate this, so I suppose we should build some government administrations. Looks like all this stuff has huge negative construction efficiency, so we'll build those in Bajo, Paraguay. And, oh yeah, since we have one of the best techs in all of South America, other than France and UK, we are actually #1. Well, we're basically tied with Netherlands, but they're also one of the colonizers. We do have some pretty nice PMs, like, standardized filing system. Also, we should turn on wrought iron tools, I suppose. Yeah, we're actually going to go down on government wages to save a little bit of money here, because we don't want to lose as much money as possible. I guess we'll also go up a tax level, and we do have infinite money, so let's do a consumption tax. Not infinite money, I mean infinite authority. Let's do a consumption tax. Also use some more social mobilities and greener grass campaigns. I'm going to start trying to pass public schools, I suppose. That's going to be a little bit of a nice law to get through. So we got a university from Brazil. We're going to delete that because it is costing us a little bit too much money. I just saw my success chance on pub schools go down a bunch when we deleted that because I think it destroyed a ton of intelligentsia clout. Yeah, you can see the intelligentsia clout when we delete the university there. Okay, we passed public schools. Pretty nice. I'm gonna level that up to level 2. I really want to get some colonial stuff going. So let's get the armed forces in government, I suppose. Also, actually, before we do that, I'm going to put the landowners in government real quick, just so we can trigger corn laws, because we actually have all the other requirements for corn laws right now. Our grain price is just super high for some reason. And then we'll go back to having the armed forces and start passing colonial exploitation, because we want to start colonizing into Guarani, because we need 10 states for Rio de la Plata. This means we're going to need all the states we can conquer from people, plus we need this to be colonized, and we need all of Guarani to be colonized. Now, I think Argentina's going to take too long to colonize this, so eventually we'll need to conquer them. But first, we want to focus on the stuff that's going to be closer to us, of course. We get a modern conservative. Cool. Nice. Well, we're not going to use him yet, I think, but he's nice to have. We're going to get off of isolationism for free once we get the modernization stuff anyway, so no need to try to use him for that. Brazil has -6 prestige. Big nice. -50 from time and modifiers of defeated in the Ragamuffin War. Dang, that's crazy. It's kind of close to us being able to try to protectorate them, but they're going to lose the loss from the Ragamuffin War before we can protectorate them, I'm pretty sure. If they defend the borders, maybe we could try to do it and get them to back down, but don't think we can do it. Oh, and there we go. We researched nationalism. This gives us this thing. We're going to click La Plata will be one. This gives us a couple of claims. Not as many as we would like, but it's going to help us out a little bit. It also gives us an extra 10 maneuvers again. That's going to be nice. We'd very much like if it gave us a claim on this or whatever so we could actually colonize it, but it doesn't. Now, we're going to make it so that our national identity is slowed because we do not want to get that. That will stop us from getting our Rio de la Plata stuff. And then this stuff, yeah, sure, we'll take some negative approval on the intelligentsia. You can concede to some of their points. Yeah, okay, we get a little bit of a success chance boost there. Well, our balance is pretty terrible, so I'm going to put on a grain consumption tax, which is very unideal. Also, I realized that we're running a big paper shortage, or not really shortage, but it's a little expensive, so to try to solve our budget a little bit, we're going to build a paper mill here, and do we have construction malices gone yet? Not really. Maybe we could use violent suppression and try to build one in Minas Gerais. That would probably be good, because we don't really have much available labor in Bajo, Paraguay. Yeah, let's go for that. It should be good. 73 weeks is crazy, just because we only have 10 construction. Oh yeah, I'm going to start improving relations with France and the UK, and we'll declare a rivalry with Brazil, because we do want to try to get some influence. I guess we'll also declare a rivalry with Grapara. Getting some good relations with France and the UK is always important. Well, we have way more bureaucracy than we need now for some reason, so I guess we're going to go down to maybe even simple org. Yeah, simple org is enough. Although that might make our paper mills, like, die. but it should be fine. Just need to have a little bit of or have a little bit more money now, so we can like remove the grain consumption tax now, and that's gonna be pretty nice. What happened to Prussia this game? What happened? Why is everyone out of the Zollverein? Yeah, wow. So I was trying to decide if we want to go between Brazil and Argentina here. I think we're gonna go for a full annex on Argentina. So yeah, it should be pretty good choice, I think. You know, Argentina's got a lot of stuff, and we do want to colonize their country. Um, I I thought about leaving them in a state like this, but the problem is their claims stopped us from colonizing. It's really weird. I couldn't figure out what the rhyme or reason is behind whether or not we keep the growing colony when we peace out, but it seemed like in every case that I could like actually do it legit, it would always delete the colony. So I think that going for a full annex is just going to be the best play. I wish you to hope that no one colonizes Buenos Aires other than us, which, I mean, I don't really have any way to guarantee that, but I guess if Britain colonizes or whatever, we can probably find something to trade with them to get it. Surely, surely. Um, so we should be able to make a lot of conscripts because we've got Minas Gerais and stuff. So let's put some enlistment efforts in all of our big states here. Get like 20 lancers and a bunch of line infantry, and that should be a pretty solid thing. We should just be able to win pretty easily with that. Oh, also, I'm gonna build 2 construction sectors in Minas Gerais and Bajo Paraguay, and we're gonna make those iron frame. We get colonial enthusiasm. We could get 50% colony growth speed, but it's only for, I think we'll take it. Even though the thing is, I don't know if we're gonna pass this in the next 5 years. It's almost certain, right? So we'll take that. And it looks like we're having a pretty good advantage on the front, which is great news. Oh, our ruler died. So we get the meeting in Ascension. We're gonna click this option, which is gonna remove our native indigenous culture here of Guarani. But more importantly, it's gonna give us the Heart of America journal entry. It's also gonna give us 10 success chance because we lost our thing that was giving -10. We get National Guard protectionism, so we're no longer isolationist. Heart of America gives negative 50% mortality. With this event, we can click. Gives us a bunch of random modifiers. This one gives plus 20% offense defense. This one is bugged, and I don't. This prestige doesn't do anything. I don't know about the home defense. It might do something. We've occupied Corriente. Okay, we occupied whatever this state's called, Santa Fe. And we're just gonna walk into their capital, and we should just be winning. Yeah, we're about to full occupy them. We're running -600 authority, so we're going to remove the enlistment efforts. We shouldn't need them at this point in the war, and I think we're also going to remove greener grass campaigns. And that, yeah, now we're running a bit better of a authority balance, which is good. Maybe we should have just accepted running negative authority. I don't know. You could make a decent argument for that, I guess, but I think it's fine to just stop running negative authority. Anyway, we full annex them, and we don't have any colonies, but once we get colonial exploitation, we can just recreate them because we killed Argentina, so there's no claims to deal with. We'll be watching to see if anyone happens to start colonizing Buenos Aires, because we definitely need the entirety of that state in order to form Rio de la Plata, unless we somehow get either Mapuche or Patagonia, but those states are going to probably be even harder to colonize. Oh yeah, I guess we'll start incorporating. I have no clue why these states are starting incorporated. Oh, it's because they're return CBs, I guess. And they must have our homeland. Yeah, they're Platinian, I guess, so that's why we have homelands on them. Or that's why we get instant incorporation. Okay, we get colonial exploitation, so we'll start colonizing, I guess, Buenos Aires first. And that going at 0.5, okay. Definitely want to try to level up colonial affairs, because I want to try to get that number up. Oh, we just got our first mass migration of people from Chile. Nice. Okay, we got level 2 on the colonial institution, but unfortunately it's just not enough to get above this 0.5 amount, which is pretty unfortunate, but I guess we'll go for an annexation on Uruguay now. Oh no, France would protect Uruguay? Oh, they got a guarantee of independence? That's not very nice. Okay, I'm going to invade Bolivia for Jujuy. We're also going to take Antofagasta. The reason we're taking Antofagasta is for the event after we form the Rio de la Plata. It'll give us claims on Chile. It also gives claims on Antofagasta. But the problem with that is it's gonna cost us 10 infamy to get that claim. And just conquering the state is only 6.4 infamy, so it's just gonna be much more efficient to conquer it than trying to go through that. We'll also take some Bolivian war ups. We're not gonna try to liberate the stuff though, because we do actually want the Peru-Bolivian Confederation to happen. I think that's gonna be in our interest, because that means Bolivia is gonna be off the table as a country that can get their national awakening happening where they swap to Bolivian. I guess we're gonna go down in tax level a little bit for now because we do just have a bunch of gold reserves and we're not, and we were making positive money. Even with this construction sector, we shouldn't be losing that much. I'm gonna remove some social mobility decrees in favor of putting back our enlistment efforts. I think that's gonna be pretty important for defeating the Bolivians. Definitely want to defeat the Bolivians as much as possible. Darn you, Bolivia! You must die and give me my 2 states. I've set myself to defense for now, and we'll push once we get a little bit more conscripts coming up. Okay, we get a Mapuche native uprising. We'll use this 2-stack to go deal with that. That's going to be really nice. That should speed up our colonization of Buenos Aires by 4x. In fact, that's actually going to mean probably our best option is going to be to do Mendoza instead of Alto Paraguay. In fact, it probably was always going to be the better option, actually, but yeah, just another thing to keep in mind. Looks like we got a 40 advantage, so let's push that advantage and go for our states in Bolivia. Apparently we have a colony growing in Mendoza. I don't remember creating that, but okay. It's fine. We wanted that anyway eventually, I guess. Okay, we're defeating the Bolivians, so that's going to be nice. Okay, get Antofagasta, and we expand our state in Jujuy. Okay, the Peru-Bolivian Confederation has formed. Pretty nice. That means that they are no longer going to be a candidate for flipping to being Chilean or whatever, or flipping to being Bolivian. They're just going to stay South Andean forever. Looks like we've managed to avoid getting our own culture here by having enough non-primary culture homelands. You're getting negative 1.25 from that. Oh, it looks like we finally have enough incorporated pop, though. We're getting over 0.5. Let's go. That means as we get more incorporated pop, it's going to go up now. It's pretty good. I want to try to invade Brazil for some incorporated pop. That could be decent. Oh, we are actually almost out of infamy, so that seems like that's probably going to be what we need to do. Yeah, they're a minor power, right? Yeah, they are. Let's just quickly go for Confederation of the Equator is going to join. That should be fine, right? Yeah, I think we can defeat that. Actually, it's quite a bit stronger than Brazil, but I think we'll be fine. Yeah, surely we'll be fine. We'll be fine. I'm gonna conquer Rio and Bahia, I think, and then maybe some Brazilian war reps. I think that should be good. Now we'll raise our conscripts, go on the front, and I guess do a little bit on this front. We'll see how much they put on this front. If they put too much, then we'll allocate more. Confederation of the Equator joins in as expected. Looks like we do have a little bit too little in the south, so move like 4 over to that army. That should be enough, hopefully. So it turns out Belgium joined against us in the plan. I didn't realize, which is not good. We're gonna put more enlistment efforts and try our best to hold. It doesn't look good, but I believe we'll find a way. I don't know which states have highest pop now. Cordoba looks like it has decent pops, and I guess we'll do like Corrientes maybe. Yeah, Corrientes is okay. We just need to conscript up as much as possible and try to hold till Belgium's out of the war, really. Yeah, this is going to be really tough because they have so much in the southern front. Honestly, we probably have to do a naval invasion to win this war, so let's just grab out... Oh, this troop has no org. Okay, yeah, let's just grab out one guy from here and try to naval invade our way to victory in the south, because I honestly don't really see any other way to win. I should have been more prepared for this possibility, but unfortunately, I'm not prepared for this. So we need to take over the south with naval invasions quickly. Okay, looks like their navy is deciding to not block us, which is great news. Looks like we got into the first tile. Now we need to get... Yep, we're in the south. Okay, now we just need to hold. Please hold. Actually, I guess we can just try to push into Rio before they arrive. That might work. I doubt it will work, but I guess it's worth a try. Um, yeah, we'll just keep pushing till they get their advantage back. Okay, it looks like we're not really pushing, so we're gonna go on the defense and just try to hold until Belgium and stuff is out. Okay, we're losing, but it's not too bad. Oh, now we got the advantage on the front. Okay, good. Just need to hold till Belgium gets to capitulation desire or confederation of the equator, and then we should be good for victory. Okay, it looks like we got a big enough advantage that they're not trying to push, which I guess is pretty good. Belgium is just slowly capping. Okay, well, military is not good. We're costing us a lot of money right now. Um, yeah, it's not great. We're gonna raise taxes, and I think we're gonna delete some military, actually. Oh, we can't because of this stupid thing. Dang. That's annoying. That's actually really annoying that we can't delete military. Yeah, well, I guess we'll just have to win the war ASAP. I think Belgium got out or something because we got a 50 advantage all of a sudden. Let's start pushing because Confederation of the Equator is about to leave too. And then we should just have a dominating advantage once they leave the war. Yep, they're gonna leave now. Nope, not quite. Now they leave. Okay. Yeah, we have easy battles here. Well, that's interesting. We get the Age of Caudillos permanently. I think it's kind of fine. It gives us very powerful armed forces. I think we'd prefer to not have this happen because, you know, you having the ability to press that minus 50% decree cost button would have been nice, but it's fine. Get the giant Age of Caudillos bonus. Okay, Brazil is about to be full occupied, which should mean an end to the war. Actually, we just got their capital, so we can propose peace deal. Very nice. We're running a bit of a positive balance now. Start incorporating these newly acquired states. Okay, we just finished colonizing Mendoza. That's pretty nice. Gives us a bit of faster colonization on Buenos Aires. Unfortunately, our colonization rights are getting pretty close to running out. That's not great. So, Uruguay just became a claimant to La Plata. Interesting. Oh, we just got a pro-British lobby. That's actually pretty nice. I think we get 50 relations as well. Yeah. We can't create a trade agreement because they're cautious. If they weren't cautious, then we'd be good. No. Yeah, I don't really like them being cautious. We can host a power block embassy. Maybe that'll flip them. No, it didn't. Oh, we get the Napoleon of the Americas. We can make him the leader of our armed forces. He gets some bonuses that get doubled if he becomes our ruler. He can just become a general. Yeah, we want him to become the leader of our armed forces, I think, assuming he doesn't have a terrible ideology. He's an authoritarian. It should be fine. We already have the thing. But yeah, this guy's pretty cool. He's an experienced defensive strategist. Napoleon of the Americas gives him some pretty strong traits, like plus 60 popularity. And it'd actually be negative popularity without that. We probably actually might not want to make him our ruler, because cruel is really bad. You get -1 SOL. Oh, yeah, we got water tube boiler and stuff. We should probably upgrade our PMs. That would be a nice little thing to do, some would say. We just unlocked water tube boiler fairly recently. Getting that gold mines upgraded is going to be nice. It looks like we have a little bit of a coal shortage, or not quite. Should probably build some more gold mines. Big construction malice here. We really need to fix the infra problems so that SOL isn't terrible there. SOL is 6.9. That's really low. Well, you know, because of Uruguay being guaranteed by the French, I think we're going to have to invade Chile, which apparently, you know, allied Uruguay, so that Uruguay will hopefully join Chile. And we also, like, kind of want something to spend our infamy on, and this seems like a perfectly fine way to do that. So, yeah, we're just going to go for a war with Uruguay and conquering Santiago. We would get this from... We would get a claim on this from the other event, but I think it's fine to just conquer it, you know. It's not that much infamy that we're wasting, like 10. So yeah, let's take out Uruguay. Okay, we're winning on the Chilean front big time with the power of our conscripts, and we're doing fine on the Uruguay front too, so war should be pretty easy. Apparently we are becoming our nation, which we don't like that very much, but we should be pretty close to getting our Rio de la Plata stuff. Also, we're only 3 years away from PanNat. We're definitely not that close to actually being in a form, so maybe we go railways in between. Yeah, let's just go railways now, and then we'll go back to PanNat after that. Okay, we enforced on Chile. We're going to start incorporating Santiago. Okay, we enforced on Uruguay as well. That instant incorporates because it's Palatinian. Very nice. The colonial growth generated is up to 0.66. I think I'm going to try to pass oligarchy with the help of the liberal movement because the authoritarian armed forces don't oppose it. So that's going to be one way to hopefully better make this a government, because right now it's zero legitimacy because huge ideological incompatibility. I'm hoping that passing oligarchy will help out with that a little bit. Oh, our colonial growth is all the way up to 0.97, growing quite a lot. Let's go, big nice. I think this is the final province in Buenos Aires. After this, we can start colonizing Chaco and Guarani Santa Fe, which are the only other remaining ones. Okay, no. Need uprising happened when we're at 100% colonization of that province. That's crazy. Okay, apparently the colonization is done. So I guess we're gonna start colonizing Chaco now. We're running a huge positive balance. I'm gonna go down on taxes with most of this money, and then we'll also start building some more stuff in our construction queue. We want to go down on tax. Oh wait, we have zero infamy. Maybe we go for a full annex on Brazil. That seems like a decent plan. Yeah, let's go for a full annex on Brazil. What? I need to fix this thing with my mouse, bro. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna go for, I think, a full annex on Brazil pretty much, assuming we have the maneuvers for it. I think that should be perfectly fine. Yeah, we get full annex on Brazil here. Should be nice and good. Easy territory for Paraguay. And I guess we could maybe take something from the Confederation of the Equator. I don't know. Maybe Pernambuco actually looks like their best state by far, so we'll take Pernambuco if they join. So Brazil backed down, and they got a revolt. A little annoying. I guess we'll go conquer Pernambuco from the Confederation of the Equator then. Sure. Looks like Netherlands actually might join this, but it should be fine. You just want a little bit of infamy. You don't want to conquer anything from like Peru, Bolivia, or anything, because we're gonna try to get those things through the unification play, right? Peru, Bolivia joins against us here. Okay. It's not ideal, but I think it's fine. Probably hold that front with fairly little troops. Just need like a couple extra conscripts, and we should be kind of fine to defend that. Yeah, we should be good. I guess we'll go for some Equatorial War operations and Peru-Bolivian War operations. Oh no, we're actually getting enforced on here. That's not good. Let's go for a naval invasion to retake Antofagasta, I guess. Yeah, now we got Antofagasta back. We can't cap. But, probably land Peru-Bolivia on something so they can actually start capitulating, because otherwise... Oh, this is an unincorporated state? Not great. I guess we'll land it anyway. Oh, we don't have morale. But we got them to take away some troops from the front, I guess. Oh, we've got big advantage over here. Let's push with this guy into Pernambuco, and that should be good. Okay, we managed to pass oligarchy. That's pretty nice. Should help us out. Yeah, now we can make better governments. Looks like our market liberal guy died, which makes sense. We had that thing going for super long. I really want to ban slavery, but the landowners are a little bit too powerful for that. Commercialized agriculture. We don't have mutual funds yet. I guess we'll do this government because it's a bit more legitimate for now. Our first casualty, New Granada, is now Colombian. No! Okay, looks like we're having a good little push in the Confederation of the Equator now, so we should just occupy their capital and then win the war. Okay, we occupy the capital, so that's nice. Can we just do something like, yeah, let's just do this peace deal. Okay, nice little Pernambuco taken. Well, we still aren't particularly close, so I think we're gonna divert another tech before we do this. I guess we'll go pharmaceuticals next. Dang, Venezuela's our next casualty, unfortunately. But, you know, for now, I think both of them still have North Andean in the rest of their states, so it's not too bad. Hopefully it continues to be that way. Yeah, it looks like for now, none of the non-capital states have lost it yet, except for the states that just never had it originally. Okay, I think we're gonna go back up to medium taxes. We can run a bit more of a positive balance here. Guess I'll start colonizing in Guarani Santa Fe as well, which is gonna slow us down a bit, but we gotta get these states stuff as well. Hmm. Really unfortunate. We're gonna lose like every single one except maybe Ecuador. Maybe we can keep Ecuador. Hmm. Well, I mean, I guess we're guaranteed Peru, Bolivia. Wait, Central America actually managed to stay together this game, except like two states broke off, but not enough for it to actually break apart. That's actually incredibly rare. Hmm. Well, we're running kind of low on infamy. I don't really want to attack any of these other guys in South America right now. I think we got truces like Brazil and stuff. If we don't have truces with Brazil, maybe we'll attack them. No, we do. So yeah, I'm gonna attack Guatemala. Because I want to stay in roughly the Latin America slash South America area. So this is gonna be good to stay in that area instead of just randomly going for Transvaal or whatever. New Granada sides against us, but it should be fine. I actually probably think we don't enforce this war for a long time, but we'll just sit on this war. I doubt that anyone's gonna try to naval invade us or whatever. Oh yeah, we're gonna start passing public health insurance. I decided to not research PanNat because we actually have it ready to be researched, but just in case the event breaks, if we research it ahead of time, we're gonna wait to research it till the time. Okay, pass public health insurance. We'll start leveling that up. That's gonna be always a good thing to try to level up. I just realized we're at 0 infamy again, so I'm gonna go for a full annexation of Brazil. The Confederation of the Equator is likely to intervene, but I think we should be able to deal with them. I think these guys might actually be bankrupt, so if the Confederation of the Equator doesn't seem like they're joining, we might just primary some of the war goals. Okay, it looks like the Confederation... Oh, but France is kind of likely to intervene. So let's only primary one. Hopefully that will make them not back down or whatever. Okay, we're almost done with this Brazil war. We'll just demobilize because we can't annex Guatemala yet. We don't have a big enough navy for now. I wonder how close we are to hitting major power status, because we do, or we will need that. We're kind of close, but also kind of far. It's not that bad, because I think our intelligentsia are giving us -10 right now, along with -20 from gov wages. I assume we could probably get fairly close, but it's going to take a little bit of conscript raising for sure. Okay, I think we're about to finish. Yeah, we finished colonizing Santa Fe, so now we colonize Chaco twice as fast. We're so close to being able to form Rio de la Plata and then do our stuff from there. Which actually means we should be raising our conscripts now so that we can get our prestige up. Okay, we're about to finish colonizing Chaco, so we're going to go up on government wages and mill wages. And then, yep, intelligentsia. Okay, we hit major power status, so now we can go back down. And that's going to be great news for us. We just need to finish this little bit of colonization here. One more province. I wonder, has Ecuador gotten out of it yet? No, Ecuador is still North Andean. Okay, so we just lost Chile and stuff, but it's not too big. Chile, New Granada, Venezuela, but I'm pretty sure we should still have the rest of their states, right? Yeah, so it's just going to be their capitals that we have to spend infamy on, which isn't too bad. Okay, 7 days. And colonization is complete. So we can now form Rio de la Plata, get from river to straits. Now we can click this option, which gives us South Andean as a primary culture. And apparently it still gives us the infamy, even though we conquered the state from those guys. Dang, okay. Well, I guess that was a bad idea then. I just figured that it was giving us... When I looked at the causes of infamy, one of them was in the Andes strategic region, so I figured it was because of that thing, but I guess not. So, click this. And now we have South Andean. We can form this. So let's go research pan-nationalism now, and then go back. And now we get the Federation proposal. The peoples of South America will be stronger together. The peoples of South America will be stronger together. For some reason, that event claims to give you infamy, but it just doesn't. And now we have the ability to launch a unification play, which apparently the USA is likely to intervene against us in. Okay, Ecuador just supported me for the unification of the Federation, so we're gonna go for it, We'll start improving relations with the USA, I guess. And yeah, we're just gonna go on the front with our armies. And we're gonna put you, going over there. Defend. Great to skirmish infantry. A couple of defenders for over there. Oh, also we're gonna upgrade to general training. The Confederation of the Equator joined the war. We're gonna put 1 million various generals against them, I guess, and raise conscripts in this army to ensure we defend that front. Because, yeah, okay, we can't be losing to the Confederation of the Equator. USA just declared neutrality, so we're going to go for a bunch of war goals now. It's going to give us a lot of infamy, but it's fine. Um, so Miranda's the state from Venezuela that isn't North Andean. We're going to take a bunch of states from New Granada, and yeah, that's going to be all of our maneuvers in infamy, pretty much. Should just be good here. Okay, I'm gonna create some more generals here so we can actually push this front a little bit faster. That would probably be useful. Definitely need to win this faster. We need to get up to Peru, Bolivia now, please. We have basically an infinite advantage here, so yeah, we just instantly win like every battle we start right now. Trying to, hopefully we can get into La Paz at least so we can start capping Peru, Bolivia, please. We're holding pretty good against the Confederation of the Equator. Oh, Ecuador got their culture flipped to Ecuadorian. Which is unfortunate because that means we can't form the Federation of the Andes with them. We're just gonna have to leave them out and then eventually conquer them. Because, yeah, their state isn't North Andean, so we can't just relaunch a unification play against them or whatever. Pretty unfortunate, but it's fine. Okay, looks like Ecuador front is losing, but we're about to connect with it, hopefully. We can just take Peru, Bolivian, Pastaza, please. That should be... Oh, but they just took Pastaza. That's not actually going to connect the front, but we're very close to connecting the front. We're about to annex Peru, Bolivia. That's going to be big. Yep, there goes Peru, Bolivia, except they actually apparently colonized into here, and I forgot to take this. Oh, no, Ecuador capped out just at the right time. No, bruh. You're kidding me. No. Okay, well, actually, it's fine. We can land Panama and then get in through that. Or, wait, that's on the wrong side? Yeah, that's not great that it's on... Oh, wait, what? Ecuador is in the war now. Okay, I thought that they just capped out just at the right time, but no, that didn't actually happen. Okay, let's just go through Ecuador then. How close is Ecuador to capping? Very close. Yeah, oh, uh-oh, that's way too close. Way too close. Oh, no. Yeah, we don't arrive in time. Dang. Okay. Well, yeah, we have to try to land Panama here, which isn't great, but it's better than having no ways in, I guess. Or we could invade Ecuador, I guess, for Pastaza, but I don't think we have the infamy to take Ecuador itself right now. Yeah, okay, we're gonna go through Pastaza, I think. Okay, Ecuador refuses, but we will simply push through them. And it needs to be done, otherwise I think we're just kind of stuck here. We're going into a lot of debt to win this war, but it's fine. I'm starting to incorporate our new Peru-Bolivian holdings. We will now annex New Granada and stuff. It's a 2v1 in this naval battle. Oh, they just moved their navy over. Um, we defeat the Guatemalan navy. Okay. Um, who else is here? So, good, good. What do you mean you have more than one admiral for one navy? Okay, well, they're gonna do that. We can go back to invading Panama now. I think we should be able to land, hopefully. Yeah, okay, we're in Panama. That's good. Split formation. Defend the back. Okay, we're pushing through Ecuador now to get our connection through Pastaza. I really should have taken Peru-Bolivian Pastaza so that we'd have a connection, but I didn't. We're actually losing here, but it'll be fine. We just need to go through Ecuador as well, and then it should be fine. This is certainly a war. We're losing a lot of money right now, but it's fine. Okay, we're about to full occupy Ecuador, and then we can go for the New Granada stuff. Please full occupy Ecuador now before the stupid New Granadans occupy this from us, please. Yes, okay, we want it. Good, good, good. Okay, now we're on this Pastaza front, and we can try to push into Uribe or whatever. Oh, they occupied us out of Panama. Dang. Yeah, I guess all these troops are just gonna go over here now. I suppose we should probably go up on taxes, and probably put on the consumption tax. We need some more money, because, yeah, our budget isn't too great. Okay, we've taken over Guavire, which should be good. That's gonna... Oh, we finished researching water tube boiler. Okay, go steel frame buildings next, I guess. And we should also use our newly acquired water tube boiler PMs to help boost our economy real quick. Yeah, that's nice, especially gold. I just realized that we need to win this war quick because we're actually capitulating because they have no war goals against us. Yep. We need to win so fast. Luckily, they're capping incredibly fast, so the second their capitals get occupied, they're gonna cap like almost immediately. But we do need to occupy their capitals pretty quickly here, or else we are gonna lose this war. Luckily, I think we're gonna get it just in time. Venezuela should be capping out in a second, and yeah, we're gonna be getting New Granada. I think just in time. Oh, it's so close. Okay, I think we get it though. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Surely, surely. Oh no, oh no. It's so close. Please win this battle faster. I think we have the upper hand. They're capping 25.66. We're capping 2.5. Okay, they hit capitulation desire, I guess. Cause yeah, okay, we're good. Um, and we can start incorporating all this newly acquired territory in the north now. Now, I do have a simple question, which is if I were to release these people, what cultures do they have? They have the Andean cultures. Okay. Do we even want to fight? Do we want to fight this Guatemala war ever? I don't know. Let's just white piece it actually to get our infamy reduced. Yeah, I think that's gonna be best. Are we actually running negative 28k right now? Even with that, that's not great. Yeah, it's not very good that we're running negative 25k balance with basically no military. Oh, it's all coming from interest pretty much. Well, and we're getting a lot more once the stuff incorporates, but still. So I think what we're gonna do is release yeah, Venezuela and what's the other one? Do we not have the northern one? There's no New Granada seemingly. So I guess we'll just feed all this stuff to Venezuela, and then when we form it, we should hopefully get instant incorporation from this, or it might no, it doesn't remove recently conquered from those, but it should from these. That's kind of nice. Just gonna give that over to this stuff should be incorporating pretty soon, but for Pastaza and all this, we'll give it to these guys, and then form Federation of the Andes real quick, and yeah, incorporate a bunch of that for us instantly. Is oh, and it removes the recently conquered modifier from all of it. That's going to be pretty nice. Get a grand unification. Get 10% barracks building throughput, which I don't think like does anything. 10% influence prestige. I think it's something better, but it's like I don't know. I think barracks throughput might actually just make our military cost more. Let's actually see what this does. Yeah, let's see. So it looks like it did increase that. I'm gonna look at the footage to see if that increased training rate. So that was just a scam. Plus barracks throughput equals you just lose more money. So I think in theory you actually want to have your army in unincorporated states because I think you just have to pay less for them for no downsides, except for like the fact that you have unaccepted pops usually but maybe you try to like intentionally have some states that are unincorporated that you use social mobility on. Then you have to pay 10% less on your military. Wait, for us, our unincorporated states more than a 10% debuff to them? I don't know. We've got colonial exploitation, right? Take a look. We don't actually have any barracks here, but we can look at a different industry. Looks like the colonial exploitation isn't giving us an additional -10 on those, unfortunately. But if it was, then that would be nice. I wonder if there's any other ways to stack negative throughput on them other than defaulting, which, you know, has its own problems. We have 3 of the 4 Heart of America stuff. I think maybe now's a good time to activate stimulate population growth. We've got 1.5 million people here, so it affect a decent amount. Let's do it now. Yeah, negative 50% mortality gives us a solid 2% pop growth here. Apparently, we're now losing migrants in this state. Because the Greener Grass campaign went away for some reason. I don't know why it went away. Wait, no, it is there. It just it wasn't showing yet. Okay. Okay, now pop growth is 3%. That makes a bit more sense. With that negative 50% mortality. We actually kind of want to have SOLs pretty low here because going above 10 SOL has pretty severe negative pop growth implications when you have this high of a thing. You get 3.1% at 12 SOL. You look at 11 SOL, 3.8%. Oh, this pop must have some other things going for it that make it better, surely. But still, it's a pretty big increase for every minus SOL when you have like 50% mortality or whatever, because you have stacked negative 20% from health system and negative 50% from that. I want to do this as my government and start trying to ban slavery now, because I'm an anti-slavery guy, I hate slavery. Oh yeah, I'm gonna start colonizing in Guarani. That would make a little bit of sense. And I guess we should create a power block. Sure, let's create a trade league with internal trade. That seems fine. Or should we do external trade? Um, yeah, let's just keep it internal. That seems fine. Okay, well, we just got 100. Yeah, so we're getting this Amazonian uprising. I'm hoping this removes the activism from the non-Amazonian pops too. I think it will. And so if it does that, it's kind of gonna be good because these states, had lots of pops that were radicals. So getting them unradicalized is gonna be pretty nice. We don't want to conscript up too much because we definitely don't want to keep going into debt. We did solve a lot of our debt, or solving a lot of our interest by just holding a positive balance, but definitely do want to be able to start spending money again at some point. Apparently, the Amazonian uprising was able to get a mass migration from Canada. Oh, it's because it has multiculturalism. Hmm. I wonder if there's some way to. I wonder if there's some way to use uprisings to get ultra early multiculturalism. Like, you try to spawn an uprising, and then try to get it to regime change you. Hmm. I wonder if that's somehow possible. Okay, we dealt with the Amazonian uprising. It looks like it did delete like all the radicals from those states, which is super nice. Yeah, let's just demobilize like everything but one so that we don't have to pay too much for military. We're up to running a positive 32K balance. That's not too bad. I mean, it's not that much construction as much as we would hope, but it's not terrible. Oh, our positive balance has grown up to plus 60K. Clearly, something good's happening. I don't know. Are we losing radicals? I guess we're sort of losing radicals every time. Yeah, we've got a bit more loyalists gained in the last year than radicals, so probably just reducing turmoil over time. Oh yeah, Minas Gerais is no longer in turmoil. That's pretty nice. What else is probably not in turmoil? Looks like a lot of stuff is still in turmoil, but nice to have Minas Gerais out. Oh, is Bajío Paraguay in turmoil? It is now. That's not great. We are violently suppressing this. I forgot that we did that, but yeah, actually we can run a positive balance with construction now, which is pretty nice. Although we do want to start swapping up to steel frames soon. I think it's time to go annex Chile real quick. Chile, more like a part of the Federation of South America. Or oh, they just actually accept my demand. Okay, that sounds fine to me. I guess we'll go invade Ecuador instead then. Yeah, that seems good. Oh, Chile's likely to intervene? Okay, sure. If you want to intervene and invalidate your truce, I'm fine with that. Looks like they do not want to intervene and invalidate their truce. Okay, I'm gonna start going for laissez-faire now. I think our GDP might be a little bit low for going laissez-faire, but I think it's fine. Around 25 million, you can say it's pretty decent to start going laissez-faire around this point, I'd say. Anyway, we just won our war against Ecuador, which is pretty nice. We'll start incorporating this state. Apparently, Graupara is a Netherlands subject now. Oh, and France and Britain are fighting over Burma? Interesting. This tiny province that Peru Bolivia has in Alto Paraguay has an insanely high standard of living. 39.6. It's pretty ridiculous. We got some 25 people have one SOL, but the rest have 26, 49, 51, 62. Pretty insane SOLs. You can expect that from having 4 people working in a financial district. These would be way higher, of course, if their prices for all their goods wasn't plus 75%, which they all are. So I guess with laissez-faire coming up soon, we should establish some companies here, iron and wood. Let's actually delete one logging camp here, because otherwise the wood won't be able to privatize successfully. Let's start privatizing that wood, and we'll start privatizing this iron as well. We'll delete one of these buildings so that we can privatize, get the company going well. I'm gonna help the Peru-Bolivian modernist revolt just so that we don't have the civil war going on for like forever, because otherwise these two sides are just gonna be in a civil war for like a million years. This is give us a truce with the Confederation of the Equator, but it's fine. Um, well, I think we're gonna give up on passing LF. Oh, our industrious flip protectionist. Yeah, we're definitely giving up on passing LF. Um, wait, what? Okay, we could try to pass prop tax here. I think that's kind of reasonable. Yeah, let's go prop tax. It's gonna be a bit of an increase in money. Who knows if it'll actually be. We can actually tech a little bit accurately by doing this. Okay, so that's actually accurately saying how much money we'll get, so I'm guessing this will be inaccurate. Yes, then. Sometimes it's inaccurate. I think it's to do with, like, incorporating states or something. I don't know. For some reason, you have a bunch of pop-ups here that are just fake news, and they just stay there forever, and I can't right-click them away or anything. A little bit weird. We do have a bunch of trade-offs that are bad, but like, we do not have an extra company slot. I've got no clue what the game is talking about. Okay, well, I just capitulated because I ran out of war support, but at least we made the Modernist Revolt seemingly get some casualties. Oh, it has a hugely radical population anyway. So it is gonna eventually end the Civil War. Okay. I reloaded the save, and now the million random icons that are up here at the top have disappeared. I've got no clue why there was a bunch of random icons up there. Well, we've gotten incredibly unlucky with prop tax, so we're going to cancel passing it for now. I think that there's not really too much we could pass. I guess we could go cultural exclusion. Actually, that would be the thing that would let us start getting European migrants, because this will give us 60 from heritage trait. But that would make it a little bit hard to go multiculturalism, which we are just about to unlock, actually. So I think that we're just gonna try to go multiculturalism soon. Also, the USA is invading Mexico for some reason, and they're conquering like half the country. That's a little interesting. So apparently we're managing to run a 73,000 positive balance. It's steel frame time, bros. Bros. It's steel frame time. Can we swap up the glass PM again? Oh, let's do that. That should help out with glass shortage a little bit. A little bit more glass. We actually need like a lot of everything, but yeah, we'll build a bunch of everything. Maybe let's unswap up Bahio Paraguay for now, just to keep prices a little bit, or keep shortages a little bit under control for now. Yeah, this shouldn't be too bad though. Oh, the thing that changed, I think, is the tax cuts event from prop tax running out. I think that's what changed to make our budget so much better. It's a little bit of an interesting event. Let's click this. Yeah, we've got a couple of options here. I think this bottom option is pretty bad. It does actually have a very rare modifier though, actually. You know, it gives 2% radicals, but we gotta do it for the hyper rare modifier of minus employees. I think this is the only source of minus employees in the game. Negative 20% iron mining employees. I don't know why they decided that this needed to be added, but if you look here, we can see this building currently requires 70,000. If we click this, and then wait, now it only requires 56,000. No clue why this is a feature, but it is. Oh, the war with Mexico ended up getting white pieced. I mean, Russia was in it, so I guess that makes a little bit of sense. Just a little surprising. I guess they had to make it to Mexico City before the AI decided to white piece, because the AI isn't like, oh, I occupy half your country, so I should stay in the war. Once its white peace modifier goes up high enough, it's going to be willing to accept peace no matter what. Is the Haitian uprising actually going to beat Britain? No, this isn't actually its capital, so it is losing, but it, like, almost won. Cut Britain down to negative 30. That's crazy. I was looking to swap up to the luxury textile mills, and wow, there's literally zero silk in all of South America. There's zero silk in the entire Americas. That's crazy. I guess we'll import some silk from the British. I guess let's go finish off Chile so we can own the south of the Americas. This time we'll force the diplomatic play so that they can't just stop us from beating them. I mean, they could back down, but the AI usually doesn't back down if you have full annex war goals. Got our iron company up to 10 levels, so we'll start prioritizing all the iron mines now. You need at least 10 levels in its home state for it to get a large amount of the industries, so that's why we're not doing it with the wood company yet, because it only owns 8 levels. Oh, we need to delete a level again. Whenever the private queue or I accidentally build a level here, you need at least one open level for it to be able to privatize. It's a weird bug. It's actually kind of useful potentially if you are on laissez-faire. You can like allow yourself to own nationally owned buildings if you build all the levels. In fact, I don't even think you have to build all the levels. You can probably just queue them and do that, which might actually be pretty overpowered. We get the Conquest of the Desert for annexing Argentina. That makes Araucania a South Andean homeland and apparently gives us 100% migration attraction. And was that Patagonia? No, was it Araucania? Something, yeah, this one. It's 100% migration attraction. Cool. We'll start incorporating the South. I think that's the two states. Yeah. Oh, we need to incorporate Alto Paraguay because we finished that colony. Oh yeah, I forgot I was trying to go for multiculturalism. Let's do that. We're gonna take out the armed forces guy, exile dissident, so we remove the reformer, because reformer bad. Now we're going to go for multiculturalism, I think. So yeah, that's gonna be good. I'm gonna get the petite bourgeoisie in government, I guess, because that'll make them less unhappy, so that their stall chance contribution is lower. Now we want to get some more authority real quick. So let's stop doing a couple of our decrees. Where are we using our decrees right now? Let's remove social mobility there, or road maintenance there, I mean. And resource industry there. That should be good. And we'll bolster the Afro-Brazilian movement there. And what else do we have here that's giving us a lot? The Quechua. Okay, can we get that with high gov wages? Yes, just barely. Quechua. There it is. Bolster. We'll see what that gets up to. I'm gonna pause. So now this movement's gonna trend towards 10, and this movement's still trending towards 6. Well, not too much of a help, but any little percentage increase we can get will help out a little bit. Grants office is a trade agreement. We'll take it. Wait, did I forget to swap back down? I forgot to swap back down to low gov wages. I'm doing the swap up and down with multiculturalism. I'm trying to. Other rural folk are big mad as well. Okay, we got our. What text did I even research that time? I can't remember. But we'll go for pump jacks, I guess. Dynamite pump jacks. The success chance here doesn't look great, but if we do the trick, our stall chance should only be like 30%, and our success chance, it's like 10. So it should be too bad, I think. We're only a couple days away, so let's up to high government wages now, and yeah, that reduces the stall chance quite significantly, giving us a little bit of an advanced chance as well. Unfortunately, we get Guarani customers not wanted. We should have clicked the other option actually, because it was going to be the same result of getting a setback either way here. And we're doing this every time we get close, where I go up to high gov wages to hopefully, oh, we get an amendment. Nice success. Another success in a row. I didn't even remember to do the trick this time. The people want one thing, and it's fish. We have so much fish demand. It's crazy. We're not actually the #1 fish producer yet. We must become the #1 fish producer. We're gonna become #2 pretty soon, actually. All these places are pretty close until you hit Great Britain, who has like a ridiculous amount more fish production than everyone else. I was building quite a bit of fish. I keep forgetting to do the trick, but it looks like we're doing fine anyway, so not too big of a concern. It's just time to build more fish. Wherever you have peasants equals fish. Okay, we get through multiculturalism. Very nice, very nice. We love to see it. So I assume we're gonna get a ton of mass migrations now. Yep, there's our first mass migration of French, or some sort of French culture. Kanuri. I do not know what the Kanuri culture is. Canada? That's a pretty big culture over there in Mysore. Let's see where this Kanuri culture actually is. Oh, it's over here in Bornu. Oh yeah, France conquered Bornu. Armed forces want us to pass the local police force. We'll pass pro-army. That seems fine. Yeah, we'll do that. Gotta love getting Athabascan mass migrations. There's like 1,000 Athabascan people in Canada, probably. No, there's a couple people, but it's like not many. Like 200,000 possible migrants or something. I'm gonna start building a bunch more construction now. You know, who cares about deficit, right? We've got plenty of gold reserves built up now. 5 million, that's quite a bit. France offers us a defensive pact. I'll definitely take that. Oh, apparently we had a lobby opportunity for that. Okay, nice. I think I need to go down to tax level. We have way too much radicalism throughout our country. We also need to build up some government administrations, though, so let's do that. Specifically in Bajío, Paraguay, because we are lacking taxation capacity there. Okay, we enacted professional army, completing our petition. Gives us a bit of legitimacy, and it gives us some approval for the armed forces. Incredibly rare Metternich system in 2nd place power block ranking. I don't think I ever see the Metternich system this high. Zollverein is in 5th. Russian Empire 3rd, like kind of usual. France is 4th. That's crazy low for France, bro. Actually, they had a bunch of stuff in South America for a while till we unified with those countries. I think we'll start going wealth voting now. That seems pretty good. Why are the trade unions so mad? Oh, they don't like going pro-army. Right, makes sense. We have way too many radicals. I'm trying to suppress the labor movement, and then I think I'm gonna decrease the secret police thing. And I'm hoping that this industrialist guy will die, or we'll probably just have to like resign him from office, because I want to start trying to pass something that the labor movement really hates. You know, if we trigger a civil war, and then hopefully that can, you know, delete some of our radicalism, because 7 million radicals is just so bad. Unless there's some other movement we can put a civil war with. I don't think so, though. Um, yeah, I don't think that there's something we can pass. Like, I don't think the nihilists are gonna get that mad. I mean, if you pass theocracy, then that's only gonna be like 50% activism, I think. So I don't think there's gonna be much of anything here other than just trying to go laissez-faire. Oh, we're out of infamy. I guess we'll try to go for the Confederation of the Equator is protected by Austria. Hmm. We ally France? I don't think so. Yeah, we can't. I guess we'll go for Peru, Bolivia, and Guarani first before we then set our sights on potentially going for the Confederation of the Equator or Graupara, which I thought, yeah, it's a Netherlands puppet. I'm building some units in our capital so we can get the reform the Paraguayan army, because I just remembered, I'm pretty sure that this journal entry thing will let us get some loyalists, which would be really nice. You know, I really want some loyalists right now. We will just quickly invade Guarani. Uh, and yeah, we'll see when we get our army up to, I think, 50% employment. We'll see what's going to happen if we click that event. It might just break because we already have the conditions or whatever, but I'm pretty sure that they've got some sort of fix for that. Surely they do for this event, right? Let's quickly check our barracks. Yeah, they're slowly employing up. I made the units irregulars because I don't want to pay money for them, but it's not too big of a deal, right? We can always just upgrade. Okay, we got enough. So we can now reform the Paraguayan army, giving us 20% offense defense, which is pretty insane. And then this, which is 14,000 government expenses, so we can get to the next button. I mean, it gives home defense. It lies about giving us plus 10 prestige. That's fake news by the fake news government. Anyway, get the President's Dream, which gives us War Fervor, minus 10% morale loss, plus 20% morale recovery. We get this, which we've completed all the requirements for. So we get Peace and Justice, which we get 20% prestige, negative 10% morale loss. In this option, which is the one we're going to click, 30% prestige and 10% pops in United Provinces of South America become more loyalist. Yep, now we're down to 4.6 million radicals, which is a huge help. That's going to make our turmoil issues so much less terrible. Yay. And that's, I think if we were playing for the achievement, if I didn't already have it, that would have given us the expanding Paraguay achievement, or whatever it's called, Republic or Death, it's called. As Paraguay, complete the expanding Paraguay and populating the Americas. Oh, we didn't complete the populating the Americas one yet. But we did complete the expanding Paraguay is actually that cis vacum pac bellum thing. Okay, I think we're gonna go for a full annex on Confederation to the Equator. If they're a minor power, maybe I go for protectorate for the mandate growth. We don't have like any mandate, you know, because we're have no protectorates yet. But I think we're gonna go for a full annex on the Confederation of the Equator here. It's gonna be a lot of infamy, but gotta eat it. We gotta eat that infamy. Hopefully Austria didn't send down too many troops. I think we can probably handle it if they don't send down too much, because we've got a lot of potential conscripts we can raise. We get a little bit of conscription rate from Home Affairs. Wait. Oh, this gives political movement activism as National Guard? I didn't realize that, actually. Kind of useful. In this case, we just kind of want the conscription rate, but in theory, that would be pretty useful. Only having 4 million radicals is pretty nice. That's 95, or no, 45,000 more income. That's quite significant. I really want to go up on taxes. Let's get an opium consumption tax. That's going to be nice. Okay, well, we got a 36 advantage. Austria only sent down 14 troops. We're losing the first battle. Okay, maybe let's just go defense and maybe we should raise a bit more conscripts. That's probably going to be a bit smarter. Typical Connor move to not make enough conscripts, but yeah, it's just because all of our old conscripts kind of got deleted because the conscript cap per state is now going to be significantly lower due to our much lower conscription rate. Except actually, we have way less potential conscripts remaining than I thought, but I mean, we can get, you know, a couple of conscripts going here. It's going to be better than nothing. Dang, Austria's sending on a bit more. We were having a bit of a good advantage, but I thought extra shipment is going to be a little bit tough again. I'm taking some troops out the front to try to get them to waste their manpower attacking us. That should be pretty good, I think. Yeah, they attack us twice so far. Nice. Wasting their manpower, getting their war support drop up. We might have to wait for Austria to cap desire, but I don't think we will. I think with them wasting their manpower, we should be able to invade them. Uh, yeah, let's take off some more troops from the front to get more attacks going. Oh, they're actually winning that attack, unless we reroll poor visibility in time to make us win. We get camouflaged. They reroll charted terrain. No, I think we lose this battle, dang. Yeah, I'm gonna start shipping my armies back to the front, and oh, we unlocked shrapnel artillery. That's big. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty huge. That we unlocked shrapnel artillery. We can start trying to push the shrapnel. That should be kind of free win. We had an experienced offensive planner in there. Typical historical character Paraguay moment. How many good historical character generals does Paraguay have? Yeah, it looks like we're overrunning the Confederation of the Equator. Also, I'm looking at the number of historical characters Paraguay has. I think it's like one of the most in the game. I think it's like 15 to 10 historical characters, which is quite a lot. Very few. I think probably most non-GP plus India, because I think India probably has quite a few because of their recent content. But this was added in 1.5, I believe, the Colossus of the South. So for the time, probably very high. I don't know why they put so much in Paraguay. I guess it did have some interesting history of taking over a lot of its neighbors. Or not really taking them over, but trying to take them over. I think it fought like a 3v1 war between Bolivia, Argentina, and Brazil, and maybe got close to winning. I can't remember what happened exactly. I'm not a historian, unfortunately. Of course, the very last province for us to take is the one that ends up being their capital. Okay, we had an election. With our wealth voting, we got through. And now we got this petit bourgeoisie guy as our ruler, who is reckless. That's not very nice. Very, very unnice, in fact. We hate that. Okay, Confederation of the Equator is now capitulating slowly. Yeah, it's gonna capitulate eventually. And by eventually, I mean next week. We're gonna get a good old increase of 3.5 million or yeah, something like that. 66 million GDP now. Start incorporating these new states. We get a South German mass migration from Austria. That's pretty nice. That's a lot of migrants. Wow. Has our rural vaccination programs run out yet? It has, unfortunately. So we no longer get our negative 50% mortality. With the taming Amazonia stuff, we gotta exploit the Amazon. Fun fact, I have a bigger economy right now than I did in my Brazil run, which is a little bit interesting. I don't think it implies that Paraguay is better than Brazil. I think it's probably just that my Brazil run, I didn't know quite as much about the game back then, but it's interesting that they're even comparable like this, where I'm actually at around a like 10% higher GDP than in the Brazil run right now. Oh, this guy has psychological affliction, so we can resign from office on him. We're definitely doing that because we hate this guy a lot. Okay, this guy is significantly less hateable. I would have preferred if he wasn't a protectionist, but not having a reckless is nice. I'm gonna start building rubber. I'm gonna start setting up some tooling workshops to machine steel tools. I don't think we have nearly enough rubber for all, but we'll do Bajío Paraguay first, I guess. And as our market gets more rubber, we'll start sopping up more and more. Okay, we're getting enough rubber for that one, so now we're going all to machine steel tools. We're running a small shortage, but I think we can just build more rubber a little bit and solve that shortage, I think. Should be pretty good. I think we're gonna go this government and start trying to pass proportional taxation. We're just gonna fake pass land-based, like cancel it, and then pass props so that we get the labor movement adding its support. Now we're 15% stall chance here. Okay. Um, yeah, stupid industrialists stopping us from passing this. The French Alliance Committee wants us to rival the Netherlands. We have an anti-Dutch thing, I think, as well, so we'll do that. Sure, that seems good for us. Get some industrialist approval and armed forces approval. Pretty nice. We could get 4 more, then we could make the industrials kind of happy. By kind of happy, I mean that they'd stop giving us stall chance on prop tax, although that's probably not necessary. Got pretty good chances on prop tax anyway. Get some Liberal Party support here. Looks like the Conservative Party is going to be winning the election, though. We can try to lower its majority a little bit, though. Yeah, we can try lowering it as much as possible. I think we just got civilizing mission from tech spread or something, because we get populating the Americas. Give me your tired, poor, huddled masses or whatever. Yes. It wants us to reach such a high population because we have so many states. That's a little bit unrealistic, I think, you know. I don't know that we're gonna get 73 million people. Might want to survey the Panama though. That would be kind of fun. Build the Panama Canal. Okay, we passed proportional taxation. Big nice. We're gonna clean up the map by conquering Amazonia real quick here. And then we're gonna go for Grau Para, which is a Dutch subject. I think the Dutch are protected by the British. Or no, they're protected by the Prussians though, and they were in the British bloc at some point, I think, but I can say they left that now. But being protected by the Prussians is going to be a little bit tough to deal with. We still have 10 more years left on our specific bonus though, so it's not too bad. Oh, also we surveyed the Panama Isthmus. I think we'll take the take the claim, I guess. It's gonna be kind of nice. It is a Mexican Mexican puppet right now. I think we do want to kind of fight Mexico for puppeting them once we get multilateral alliances. Okay, Graupara is dead. No, Amazonia is dead, and now we get to kill Graupara. Oh, we have a claim on this through that. Okay. And then we conquer Para. That should be good. Raise conscripts, because we are going to be potentially fighting, we're going to potentially be fighting some Prussian troops here and some Dutch troops. So we need to conscript up for that. Yep, Prussia sided into the play as expected, but it should be fine as long as they don't send too many troops over, which looks like they're only sending over like a 15 stack, so yeah, not too much. It is actually going to kind of majorly change the balance of power over here, but I think it'll be fine. Yeah, let's start going up to extra supplies. That's going to be a nice little improvement to our troops. Probably should have done this a bit ago, but it's fine. You got a 57 advantage right now, but with this 15 stack joining, the advantage is likely mostly going to go away. How do these troops have so much defense? Luxurious supplies. What do you mean plus 25% defense coming out of nowhere? Where is this coming from? I don't get it. Huh? Oh, it's coming from elite, I guess? Yeah, we're not able to attack, or we're not able to defend. No, we're not able to attack. So we are just going to go on the defense, I guess. And then maybe take off some troops from the front. Yeah, that should be really solid. I took the giant stack off the front. I added some more conscripts to it as well, hoping for them to attack us a little bit. And then now that they've done that, we're going to go for some attacks on them with this army. We've got a ton of shrapnel artillery and stuff, so I think we should be able to get some good pushes in here. Yeah. Oh no, they've got 43 more troops coming down. Okay, I think we're just going to constant battle them until they hopefully leave the war due to dropping war support, because I don't know that we're going to be able to push through that very easily. I mean, we can try, but I mean, we're succeeding for now, but what? Are we still going to be succeeding somehow? Okay. Well, I'll take it, I guess. I was very much expecting that we'd have to just accept that we're going to lose some battles here. Oh, looks like we are now losing battles. Okay. But power is all that matters. We just need precious war support to go down, though. If it goes to like -50, they will cap out. Well, it's actually going to go to like -35, and then short duration of war will go away and stuff. Okay, turns out we are winning the battle for Para. This, I think, is our final battle. We own 83% of it. Nice. Didn't need to wait for the Prussians to leave, as it turns out. We're just going to be victorious without that, I think. The Netherlands has a big anti-us lobby as well. Interesting. Unless that's like a pro-Prussian lobby giving them more support. That'd be weird if something like that worked. Okay, they do have an anti-United Provinces League. Interesting that we're called the United Provinces and not the Federation of the Andes or whatever. Yeah, we should just be capping the Netherlands eventually. It's going to take a while, though. So apparently, due to the Dutch being in so much debt, they're actually going to reset the peace before they go negative. I just didn't even think to check this until now. But we do get peace treaty off there. Pretty nice. gonna build a bit of a navy because I want to build a naval invade Cuba and stuff for an invasion of the British, where we take over all their stuff. Also, we might want to naval invade Mexico, although they probably won't be defending the Yucatan or something. They do actually have 13 boats, so they might defend it navally though. So it's gonna be nice. We're about to get multilateral alliances. So apparently we just happen to have a cautious guy. I was just looking at projecting Mexico, and it only cost us 51 infamy. The British are kind of likely to intervene, but they're in some other wars, so let's go make sure those wars are likely to continue for like at least 100 days. Yeah, this was probably gonna. We're just gonna declare on Mexico. If Britain joins, it's not the end of the war. We can probably still win. Yeah, we're just gonna declare for this, and we'll return Panama. Getting Mexico as a protectorate would be nice. We'll actually start getting some mandate growth. Not like we're gonna be continuing this for that much longer, but it's still mandate growth. We have so few mandate growth that for the entire time we've had this power block, we've almost gotten a single mandate. That's how bad it is. Okay, the British did end up siding against us, so we'll take some stuff from them. We want Guyana. What's this called? West Indies. Oh, West Indies. Do we even have an interest in that? We actually don't. Let's put an interest in the Caribbean, because we do want to add some more goals against stuff in the Caribbean. In fact, I think we want everything in the Caribbean. I guess let's take British Guatemala. And then once we get our Caribbean interest, we'll take all their Caribbean stuff. Okay, we got our interest in the Caribbean. Also, we can't forget the South Atlantic Islands, the most important war goal of them all. Except it's actually the least important, but symbolically, it's the most important war goal of them all. Transfer Cuba. Transfer Cuba. Bahamas. I don't think we got that. Let's check for the Bahamas in here. I don't see it. Did I actually get it? And I'm just forgetting. I did. Okay, I think we have all of the British stuff over here, except for, I guess, Mosquito. But, sure, it's only 0.6 infamy. We might as well. I'll move over a couple more guys over to Guyana. We're going to try to get Panama done first. Yeah, they've got a little bit in Panama. So we'll try to get Panama done first while we hold Guyana, and then we'll go over to the Guyana front. We're also building a ton more military in our big stack right now, and I guess after that's done, try to make this into our next big stack. Just build out a ton of skirmish and shrapnel for this army. Okay, the war begins. We need to push through. Okay, yeah, we already take over Panama. Nice. Now we send our army over to go fight in Guyana. Good old historical character, expert offensive planner. Let's go, big nice. Okay, we've arrived to the front finally. Looks like we're not at a huge advantage, so we will just go try and defend as much as possible here. We just need to hold a little bit, for now, till we can build up a bunch more barracks to have a good advantage. Swap up naval bases to that. Swap up all this to general training. Well, the British did manage to push into Bolivar, which is not great, but we're still doing fine holding in these other tiles, and our advantage is growing, although it looks like we might actually lose even more occupation in Amazonas, but our army power projection relative to the British is swiftly going up. We almost have as much as the British now. Last time I checked, we had like 9,000 to 12,000, and now it's 11,000 to 11,000, although Mexico does have some itself as too, but Britain isn't contributing its entire army to this war. Yeah, we got a solid advantage on the front now, so I'm going to start naval invading various war goals that we have. So we're going to start with the South Atlantic Islands, and then go for the rest, like Cuba and stuff. We're going to need to get like at least enough boats for this army in order to land Cuba, though. Well, the war is not exactly going in our direction right now, but I think that we will be fine. Yeah, we're just kind of trying to naval invade, but we failed our naval invasion. We are researching military statistics right now. After that, I think we do want to try to go for some sort of naval tech, because we are sort of losing at Navy too much. We might want to try to get ironclads. Yeah, let's build a we need some more military shipyards for the old ones, but we want to have some ironclads going here so that we can, I think, build some ironclads for our fleet, because we do kind of need them, because we're actually just like losing naval battles, which isn't great. This balance is even worse. Let's go up on taxes a little bit. What's the worst that could happen from that, right? Sure, let's consumption tax glass. Okay, we're winning the naval invasion of Cuba, assuming the British don't come with a fleet, but we've got a much bigger fleet this time. You know, 8 ironclads are in this fleet. Most of them have like no manpower, but you know, if we ignore that fact, basically got the greatest navy in the world, and we'll defeat the British probably. That's great. Well, unfortunately, a 27 stack of British fleet have arrived. They're going to try to evilly stop our naval invasion, but we do have a pretty big fleet, so I think we can probably defeat it. Okay, that's a good first step, but that's not the big fleet. Okay, we're finally fighting the British fleet, and we are winning because we have so many more ships than them. The ship quantities are just not even close. Unfortunately, even with only one admiral, it's counted as being strong enough to stop our naval invasion. But we should, yep, we get another battle with it. Okay, and then we should be able to start landing again. Okay, let's turn on luxurious supplies, and we can get that landing. Okay, we got pretty close offense to their defense, and since we got so many more troops, we should be able to get a good old landing in on Cuba now. Dang, we're losing this one. Well, you know, we do to losing naval battles, we say no to them, and we lose the naval battle, and then we try again, and we hope that this time we get a defensive battle, or that they just let us in, or whatever. Unfortunately, that does reset our occupation of Cuba, I believe, but it does not reset their troops' manpower, so, you know, it's not like we're really going back to square one or whatever. Um, the battle for our country isn't really going too great. You know, we do have a 43 advantage, but we have lost a couple of states, which isn't very nice. Here's things are going pretty well, and we're going to be able to land Cuba successfully here. Yep, we get in to Cuba. That's going to be the hardest thing to land, I think. After this, we just gotta go for like Jamaica, Bahamas, and stuff, and defeat the British garrison there of 19 troops. Oh, okay, we're landing Jamaica successfully here. Very nice little win on Jamaica. We're rolled poor visibility, which isn't great, but you know, still victorious against the. No, what? All of a sudden we lose the battle? Okay, well, we don't agree to losing battles, actually. I don't like that very much, you know? I prefer winning them, actually. Okay, we're winning the final occupation of one of the Caribbean states, and then from here it should be significantly easier, because Britain just had so many defenders in this. It's only 19, but like that was pretty much hitting Comet with every time, unfortunately. But now we can go for Guyana, I guess, and then we can go for, you know, Mosquito and stuff. Oh, they managed to make it into Para? I don't know how they're pushing, because they've got a big disadvantage, but whatever, they are pushing somehow. Anyway, we're in there now. Let's quickly reland Para to make the front actually defendable. Yeah, now that's one big front now. And then we're gonna go land Mesquite and then British Guatemala, and that should be a win. Okay, we landed Mesquite. Now we need to go land British Guatemala. And yeah, that should be good. I'll declare war on Nicaragua, I guess. Yeah, it looks like the USA isn't likely to intervene against that. Just do want to start working our way through the Central Americans. We should be capping the British now. Yes, we are. Very nice. Okay. Slowly pushing to the Mexican capital. The Mexican troops in Mexico City just refuse to go on the front. Oh, apparently Nicaragua is actually Spanish subject, and I just didn't realize that. Okay, apparently fighting Spain and Austria now. That's great. I doubt that they're actually going to put much on this front, but interesting. 130 troops are moving onto the Nicaragua front? That's not great. Wait, what? I thought I saw 130 troops moving over here. They're just not, though. Okay, well, Britain's about to cap. Yep, there goes Britain. Now Britain owns, like, nothing over here, which is cool. We can, like, demobilize this now. That should be good for our economy. But it goes down a little bit from that, yeah. Mexico's our protectorate now. Nice. This is guaranteed by the USA. Kind of want to annex that. I should have gone for Haiti, but I didn't, so too bad. Who needs Haiti anyway, right? Let's just go for it. Central America, we're mine now. Mwahahaha. Central America is mine. Surely the British won't get involved. Sure. Oh, we don't now have enough infamy for this. Well, we can just imagine that this is all of Central America, basically. That's basically true, right? Basically. Us versus the USA. USA has 17,000 power protection. We have 14,000. That's not great, but We should just be able to occupy Central America, and then we should just win, because America doesn't actually have any war goals. Oh wait, America has these guys as a subject? Oh, okay. Well, we should still win. Yeah, as long as we hold Mosquito, we should just win, I believe. I'm gonna delete the ironclads. It's costing us a bit too much money. We're just gonna upgrade our frigates to monitors, and that should be good enough. Now, America's occupied our subject, but we still can't lose because they haven't occupied Mosquito, and they can lose because we have occupied all of our war goals, all two of them. So the Spanish landed in our south, and I didn't realize it, but we've just assigned a little bit to the front, and we're about to get more to the front. Also, we're getting landed in over here, but I think we're defending. No, we're not quite defending there. I'm gonna move this 80 stack over there to help win that defense. I just need to input the Spanish War and USA War at the same time, ideally without too much mobilization so that we can actually run an economy at the same time. We really need to not lose Bajío Paraguay here, please. 7 days, 7 days, 7 days. A lot of our south has been occupied, but we should be good. Okay, somehow we still at a disadvantage. While they have so much troops over here. Uh-oh. We need more troops on that front. This 54 stack is going to have to go down. Help defend. The Spanish have got so much over here. Oh, no, we're good, we're good. The Spanish are in a lot of debt and stuff, and it's a subject state occupied, so we don't really care about this too much. We're going to be able to make peace very soon, and it's going to be great for us. Seem maybe we'll be able to do a similar thing with USA. No, Central America is going to stop us from signing the peace deal. Is that actually going to happen in the Spain War too? No, it's not, because they're not a war participant, or they're not a peace participant. Okay, we can make peace with Spain now. Good, good, good. Incorporate that state. Actually, we should incorporate more states. Yeah, let's do that real quick. In fact, you can click this to do that a little bit easier. Anyways, oh yeah, this got this uprising, but anyway, USA is getting very close to hitting capitulation desire. Okay, so we can now make peace with the USA, conquering Honduras and Costa Rica. Now we got this uprising over here to deal with, and then we've won all of our stuff. Very nice. Looks like we managed to hit number 2 GDP in the world. Not great, but you know, it's not terrible for starting as Paraguay. Okay, well, the uprising is now dealt with. So I think that's going to be concluding the run. We got some. Wait, our GDP just crashed because the military industry is done. That would make sense why our GDP has gone down so much. But yeah, I think this is going to be concluding the run. I guess we can take a look at some stuff, like UK GDP, interesting graph. Our GDP, you know, we grew quite a bit. I think this is when we formed Federation of the Andes or something, because you can see pretty big jump up there, and then it's taken us a pretty long time to hit a decent GDP, but we did hit around 135 million. We're down a little bit now that the military industries are not nearly as profitable since our army is demobilized. We got how many levels of our companies do we got? I did forget to check that last time actually. Are they gonna be at the top because I have this sorted by productivity, which I really shouldn't have. 62 levels in this company and 38 in this. Did I forget? I must have forgotten to turn on privatization or whatever. But yeah, I think that's ending off the run or ending off the video. So goodbye.